So you're trying to build some slat walls just like this? Well, you're in the right place because this is actually my third slat wall. I built one in my office, I built one in my wife's office, and then I tackled this project. Along the way, I made a lot of mistakes, so I'm by no means a pro, but I believe I can share a lot with you so you don't make these mistakes that I made. So, let's get into it.
All right, guys, let me tell you why I didn't order these pre-made slats, wall panel type things that these companies are selling. And for this, I only have one reason. They are way too expensive and outside of my budget. And I wasn't even doing a big room. It was just literally, like you can see, it's my half bath. And I think the quote I got was, $350 or something along the lines of that amount. So I just took my butt down to Lowe's and grabbed me these 8x10s and cut them down. Plus, I really enjoy building stuff, so that's also the other reason. I'd rather build it myself. As you can see here, or if you've been seeing, I've been cutting down the pine wood that I bought from Lowe's down to 1 inches width, because one inch width, because that's going to be the width of my slats on the wall. And I'm using my table saw to do this. I'm using the Skill table saw, and let me tell you something, I'm absolutely in love with this table saw. It's the first one I've owned. I haven't used a lot except for a very old one that my grandfather has in his shop, but this one, it's working out great. I actually added it to my, I actually made a table for it, and it's working out perfect. The safety features are top notch. I'll leave this and all the tools I'm basically using in the description, just in case you're in the market for some good tools.
All right, guys, before we move forward, there is a not so fun part that I have to share with you guys, and that's, breaking down the math on how many slats we're gonna put on the wall, how I arrived there, and I know there's plenty of other different ways how to do it, but this is just how I do it, and it seems to have been working for me, so I'm gonna share that with y'all. So if y'all wanna stick around and watch that, hold on, this Oreo packet's been looking at me for a long time. So let me eat this real quick, and then we can move forward. Okay, now that that's taken care of, let's get started. So, first, I'd like to think about the size slat that I'm going to want on the wall. This is 1 inch. We went with smaller slats for the bathroom because it looks a lot better. For my office, the slats were like, I think, 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and that's that's kind of big. So we went with 1 inch width for our slats. Now the other information that's critical to this is getting the spacing in between. Now, so I'm sure you have your own ideas as to what exactly you want. If you want like a really close knit, slat spread, or you'd like a sizable gap in between the slats. So you should already know what you want. So for us, we went with something, I wanted something a bit, like really small, where I'm looking at it from the side, from like a, I don't know degrees. Straight line is 180. So if I'm looking at it from a slight angle, I shouldn't be able to see all the gaps. The only way I see the spaces in between is unless I'm like dead center looking at it. So we opted for some real tiny gaps in between. So we went with 3/8 in between our slats. So a 1 inch slat and 3/8 spacing, right? So that's how it's going to look. Let me borrow you as well to show y'all. So you can see this will be the spacing in between our slats. Yeah, so that's the idea of spacing in between. Oh, I guess I should move it over to the middle. Yeah, that's the idea for spacing. All right, so now that we know how our slat is going to be 1 inch, and then this is going to be 3/8, that simply means that both of these combined is 1 3/8, right? So the next step for us to do is to measure the wall. So, okay, let's figure this out. 75 1/2. So the width of our wall, is 75 inches and a half. So we're gonna do a bit of math here. All right, so we know the total width of the wall is 75 1/2, so we're going to put 0.5 there. And then the width of the slat and the space combined is going to be 1 3/8. I believe that's 375 and when you convert it to decimal points. I'm just going to put that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments because I really don't know math like that anymore. So let's see. Wow, so yeah, we're gonna need 54 pieces of slats for this wall, all right? So this number is very important. Well, call it 55 because it says 54.99. So we're going to need technically, basically 55 slats for this wall. I'm gonna run to the big box store and I'm going to get maybe 6 8x10s, a pine, of course. So 6 8x10s. I can't remember what I actually purchased, but I believe it was 6 8x10s. And then I know I have that to basically cut those down on my table saw to these slats. Obviously, if you don't have a table saw, you can buy these individually, these slats individually at Lowe's, Home Depot, or wherever. Just know it's gonna probably be a bit more, to pay for these individually versus buying, 8x12 and 8x10 and then cutting that down. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully my formula wasn't too much, and I hope you understand. If not, I have some Oreos over here I can most definitely share with you. So let's get back to the rest of the video.
Next step in the process is just to check each individual piece of slat to see if they're bowed. That just basically means that the slat isn't flat. I do this and I mark the side where the sides that aren't like flat and that are like bowed, so I can know how to put those on the wall, because you want to get that straightened out now and know which piece is which before putting them on the wall, because you're going to run into some issues. Now, for this next part, I wish somebody had warned me. I wish I had warned myself, because I've been through this before. But sanding, I sanded some more, and I sanded again, and then after all that, I sanded like 65 more times. I'm just kidding. That's a bit exaggerative, but yeah, well, first of all, I started off with a 120 grit sander, and then I went down to a 220 after that. But yeah, I sanded each piece of slat. Even my wife chimed in. She's probably going to be mad at me for putting this video up here, but she chimed in and had to help me out because it was just so much sanding. And if you take away anything from this video, listen, get you a corded sander. Cordless sanders and cordless tools are great. They're perfect. But let me tell you, your batteries do not stand a chance with sanding this many slats. And I know y'all are going to say, well, you're using a Craftsman and Craftsman ain't shh. Listen, you could have DeWalt, you could have a 100-volt battery on that sander. It's not going to stand a chance. So get you a corded sander, and don't be like me, okay? Because I have a cordless sander, this thing took me about 2 days to get done because the batteries could not keep up. Now for this next step, a lot of people actually skip, and I think it's one of the most important aspect of it. Especially if you're wanting slats that really looks good and consistent across all the slats, and that's pre-staining the wood, the slat. If you don't pre-stain it, it's gonna look the wood's gonna look blotchy and just not very sightly. So I highly recommend getting your pre-stain and applying it properly, because this, can make or break your slats. Look good or look ugly. So, but I guess it's your preference at the end of the day. But I'm telling you, man, grab yourself some pre-stain and apply it before you put your actual stain on. So for this section, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because it's basically the same process as I did with the pre-stain. This is just the actual stain that I've used. It's called Golden Oak by Minwax. That's basically what I use, and it's the same process. Just, get your rag and apply it properly. And the last and final step for this section of the wood prep is to grab your top coat, your polyurethane, and apply it over all your slats, because this just basically protects the slat from moisture and water and, whatever else you can think of. So make sure you apply that, and you should be good to go. And like the previous step, I'm just going to skip through this part because it's the same process over and over again. It's just a repetition. You actually won't be able to tell the difference because it's really clear. So I'm just gonna skip to the other part in 3, 2. What the? Okay.
Now to fasten these to the wall, I'll be using this Craftsman 18 gauge nailer with 2-inch nails. So this should be able to get the job done. All right, so instead of going through the face off the board with this, I'll be going through the sides. The reason why I'm doing the sides is because I am pretty much lazy. I don't want to go back over and patch holes and all this fun stuff, and it's really not going to look that great if there's a bunch of wood filler holes and I gotta stain it again, and nah, I don't have time for that. So I'm gonna put this in from the side, and then that should keep it in place, because it's not like anyone's gonna be holding on to it or anything. I thought about using liquid nails, but I don't know. I decided against it. I thought about it, but I was like, nah, it's fine. Hopefully I don't live to regret my decision. So, here goes. I'm gonna start with down here. There you go, that one's in. One's in. One's in. That one's in. Let me use this hammer to get the head of this nail in, because I know it's gonna come back and annoy me. And this is my spacer that I'll be using to make sure all the slats are not perfect, but as close to where I need them. Yeah, I don't need a ladder, I'm tall.
At this point, it's just rinse and repeat. You know, once you get in your rhythm, it's just literally doing the same thing over and over. Just make sure that you have a hammer and an actual nail on hand to just kind of hammer those nails that don't go all the way in. Just some of them are like, for me, I had a few that like stayed above the surface a little bit, so I had to hammer those in. And then, you know, also have a pliers on hand in case you need to pull one out, you know, so those are my tips. But yeah, at this point, you just doing the same thing over and over and over.
All right, guys, thank you for staying through to the end. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you gain a lot of value from this video, such as a few tips and tricks that I've shared to, you know, help you with your project. All right, so before you go, why don't you hit that subscribe button, that like button, leave a comment, and if you want, you know, check this video out of the wall that I did in my wife's office. I appreciate you, and stay building.